Welcome, everyone, into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquet. Nice to see everyone in the chat bright and early. Did not know it was Easter's until looking into the chat, so happy Easter's as well. I hope none of you guys start diarrhea today and continue for a long time, but it's nice to see everyone in the chat. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, if you're tuning in live, if you're tuning in late, after whatever people do for Easter's. I'm glad that you're here. It's nice to see everyone. We are in day 4 of Say Hey Plays here. As everyone knows, we're going every day of the season. If you don't know where Say Hey Plays will be found this year, I think I put it in the description again. So go ahead and scroll down and check that out. Successful day, 2-1 yesterday. Lost on the under again on the Oakland game, which is now just kept me off the whole series. I've already lost 2 bets in it, so I've lost the series, so I'm out. But it was an overall good day here. My Yankees just keep on winning, unfortunately, for me, I guess. I didn't move on them yesterday. I really wanted to, and then they won. Now, today, here we are again, and it looks like I will probably be on them here today, and it's going to be a fun day nonetheless. Let us bring in our guests here. Let's not lollygag anymore. It's fun to talk to this individual, and as everyone knows, we have business to get down to with this individual's the one, the only Dave Rogers joining the program. Dave, how's it going?
Good. I'm Mr. Business, huh? Well, let's do it.
Yes, let's do it, Dave, because I have a new joke now, Dave, and
Okay.
you're involved in it, and I'd like to tell you about it.
Nice. Okay. I'm down.
So whenever we have, our bots that come into the chat now, the Kelseys of the world, the whoever's of the world, I love to call them now Dave. They're all Daves in my head now. And
you mean like the Russian porn shit that okay.
Yes, well, whoever, like there are variations of Cheshire Cat, like OnlyFans Cat. Yeah, so I'd like to call that Dave Rogers, because everyone in the chat is convinced, Dave, that in your free time you just can make burners and you just go in there and just type it all out. So now they're all Dave Rogers. So I'd like to give you the chance to fess up and tell us about all the free time you have and all the burners that you have,
So it's a thing, I don't know, on this show or just in pub in general that
it's just all apparently. Well, I only it's Jimmy's show and my show, so
okay.
that's.
Well, I'll say this:
I get it. It's very funny.
Anyone that's been a long time pub anything, whenever I've been on a live stream, has seen that I'm the victim half the time or a quarter of the time of yes. different accounts. So it would make sense that I would fire back, but unfortunately, no, I do not have enough time to go through and make burner accounts. And by the way, I'm barely getting up at this time usually. So
yeah, it's quite funny. Thank you for waking up with us here today, Dave. And I'm glad that I can give you the forum to clear your name. But I will still be calling all of these bots Dave. So that is something that
do whatever you want, buddy.
Either way, but it's nice to see you, Dave. I'm glad we can cap the baseball season. Day 2 here, weekend 1. Day 2 of the weekend for Say Hey Plays. Had a good day yesterday with one Dabby Cab, of course. And now let's get after it with one Dave Rogers. Let's start with the Angels and Orioles here. And man, I've watched, I believe it was Tim Earl. He took up the mantra that Jimmy and I said yesterday, or last year, I should say, of just betting the Orioles. The Orioles are just a fucking good team. You just bet them every day. Good things are going to happen. And they always seem to be, maybe a little underpriced in the market, and they've not lost yet. So shout out to him. I've got a little bit of FOMO watching. But unfortunately, today is not the day for me to bet on them. Transparently here, I'd rather bet on the Angels. But again, I've said that like 2 of the last 3 days. And again, they've lost all these games. So I've would obviously be a loser, and I'm glad I haven't made any of these bets, and I'm not going to start today here. So we'll start with this. I mean, the market has moved towards the Angels. I saw this last night at 155. It actually opened up at minus 170, and it's just dropped continuously down. Now it's only minus 144, 43 for the Orioles here. And let's talk about the splits here, which is the funniest part about it. 98% of the bets and 91% of the money on the Baltimore Orioles here. And like I said, the books are just saying, come on, come with it, bet the Orioles, and we're just going to make it cheaper. So transparently, I kind of like the Orioles to take their first loss here, or maybe the Angels just to put up some runs. So I might end up being on an Angels team total all said and done, but I don't have the balls to bet a money line or first five money line. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, here's the deal. The Angels are my team. So, and you lament about the Red Sox. I lament about this team. I've had one good year ever in my entire life. That was a World Series that no one expected that team to get. Also a World Series that I had a chance to go to, and I didn't because I didn't get up. I was in college. I was too hungover with my girlfriend, which I regret to the day that I die. One of the top 5 regrets of my life. But how do you get away from an over here? Okay, so like here are a couple different scenarios, right? Baltimore does what they keep doing. They hit the over by themselves. Okay, they do that. Let's say that Detmers come out and pitches okay. Do we trust the Angels bullpen to keep the Orioles at bay? I don't. I think at 8.5, you can still get some 8.5s. This is an official play. I'm on the over here. I think the side would be the Angels, although Detmers is a guy. He pitched a no-hitter 2 years ago. Great. But you know what happened after he pitched a no-hitter a couple weeks later? They sent him down. Yeah. He's a very fair weather type of pitcher. People get high on him because he's like the only blink flash in the pan of the Angels starting lineup, pitching lineup the past few years. So I think the Orioles can get us there by themselves, but let's say they peel back, the Angels can get a couple runs. Either way, I'm on the over. I think it's a no-brainer.
Interesting. I'm looking at the cash flow for the total here right now. 50-50 ticket splits, 69% of the money on the under in this game. But if my fucking odd site would pull up, that'd be great so we can see where it went. It opened up at 8.5 to the the over, minus 125, and now it's minus 114, so that's nice. I can get you a minus 110 as well on bookmakers, so shout out to them.
Yeah, Caesars too.
Oh, great. Well, here we go. So, yeah, I can understand why you're on the over in this game because, Detmers, like you mentioned, he's definitely flashed in the pan. He's pitched well against the Orioles in his past, but he's never beaten them. It's 4-5 loss in 10, 4-5 loss, 3-5 loss. In those starts, 6 2/3, 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. So he's pitched well. Tyler Wells also has pitched against these Angels before. Remember, there's one missing guy in this Angels lineup now that's kind of a difference maker. So take that with what you will. 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs on 2 home runs, and then basically the same start. 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs on a home run, 3 Ks, 2 walks there. And both have had pretty good spring. So, yeah, for me, it's Angels or pass here, but I think I'll end up passing. I might end up getting there, but it'll depend on how this, market and how this game shake out. So let's keep on rolling to game number 2 here. And it's been a fun watch, this Phillies Braves series. I've enjoyed it. I've said this year I've planted my flag. I think these are the 2 best teams in baseball, and I think the Phillies win the World Series this year. I can't bet this series. It's just a tough series, and the game yesterday flying over was hilarious. Nola looked bad. And Fried was a victim of a shitty call in the first inning that would have got him out of the inning, and who knows. But now it's a very, very interesting pitching matchup with Ranger Suarez, who I think Ranger Suarez had the best spring training out of anyone. 15 innings pitched, didn't give up a run. I was like, oh my God, Ranger. Okay. 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 3 2/3, 1 hit, no earned runs. And that was 5 Ks, 4 walks too. So that wasn't even a good start, but didn't give up any runs there and nary a hit. 3 2/3, 2 hits, no earned runs. Again, obviously these are spring training starts. So again, we take that for what it's worth, but 15 innings, no earned runs, good. And he's pitched pretty well against these Braves before. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run against them last year. And he's 2-3 in these starts, by the way. So even if he pitches well, there's no guarantee that he wins these games because the Braves are very, very good. 6 innings, 5 hits, no earned run. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. I really like Ranger Suarez. I think he could be a bet on pitcher this year, it seems. But the other side is going to be very interesting for me personally. Christopher Allen Sale pitching for the Braves in his first start. Now, here's the thing. He's been the most healthy he's been fucking in like 3 years now. Hasn't fallen off his bike, no random injuries, nothing like that. And I'll say for the first like 2 months of the season, I think he's going to be pretty solid. He'll be a good pitcher. The very interesting thing about him so far this spring, he's not gone over 4 innings. 3 2/3 is the most he's pitched. So how far is he going to pitch here today? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just like 4 innings and then he was done. So take that with what it was again there. But I think he's good for this first go around, and then he'll start wearing down. The velocity goes down, and then it's bad news for Chris Sale then. But I think this is going to be a fun game. I wouldn't be surprised if this game went under at all here. Let's turn to the market real quick and see what they have to say. We'll start with the total first. And the advantages and disadvantages of doing this show early is that action still skunts, doesn't have money percentages for all these totals. 64% of the bets are on the over in this game. And let's check out where the line moved, because it looks like the line still moved down. Yeah, this is actually 8s now all across the board. This opened up at 9 and has dropped precipitously down to 8. So I was starting to lean for an under here, just talking about both these pitchers. Dave, I'll pass the rock to you here, and we'll talk money line markets here in a second. But what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I think it's super. I really, like you, have enjoyed this series. They are the 2 of the best teams in baseball. I actually think this pitching matchup is super interesting. I think people have kind of given up on Chris Sale, or he's kind of an afterthought. They don't remember what he did before, and with injury problems, but it's fresh. He's had time to recover, so we'll see how it goes. I still put him as above average. And Ranger Suarez, despite some of his numbers, I think he's pitched better than a lot of his numbers. I've won a lot of money with him the past couple years. The good thing about even if Chris Sale doesn't do well is that he has some safety nets. He has one of the best bullpens. He has one of the best lineups. He has one of the best teams. So he can withstand giving up 2, 3, 4 runs in a start, and his team can still win. This went from a -126 when I got it to a 41, so almost 20 cents. Atlanta's just rolling here, and it has to do. Both of these are good bullpens, but it has to do with what they've done. 12 1/3 innings and only 2 runs is it 2 or 3 games they've played since the beginning of the season. So I think with a team that's good everywhere else and a team that's rolling, I know it's hard to sweep a team at home, a road team to sweep a team at home, but who else is going to do it besides the Braves? So I'm on the Braves, and I'll eat the juice. I'd still take it at -141. That's like the tip top of where I take it, but I just feel really good about where the Braves are at in this series. I think they close it out and win it.
Would you lean under and over in this game?
I would definitely lean under. I think that's the play too. I'd even either first 5 or full game. I think both pitchers shove.
Yeah, I just moved on the first 5 under. There were 4.5s earlier today, and it dropped down to 4. So I just took 4 at even money there. Well, Bovada has 4.5 at -125. Right now I'm betting with my local. So that's why I haven't taken any Bovada lines. So 4.5 -125, interesting, but the juice is there, or the juice is not there with my local. So 4 even money, we'll take that. That's my first official play on the card. So very interesting. Didn't expect to have an underplay there, but the market is definitely telling me something. And like I said, Chris Sale, first few months, I think he'll be good. And Ranger Suarez, I think he's turned up. I think he's going to have a good year this year. So it's very interesting. And we'll very much see if spring training starts matter here. Because again, 15 innings pitched, no earned runs. We'll see if that matters. Next game, shout out to the Earl brothers. I know you're very close to them. I'm sure you're like a papa for them, as well as Jimmy is to me. You are to the Earl brothers as well. Brewers Mets here. Colin Ray, Tylor Miguel on the bump. Shout out to them. The Miguel brothers pitching in this series are very interesting. It makes me laugh. I didn't have much on this game. I found it very interesting to watch yesterday's game because the market was screaming Brewers yesterday, and I have high hopes for fucking Severino this year. And I think, okay, I think he could have a good year, bounce back the year. And then after seeing the market, I was like, okay, well, I'm not betting him today, and he gets fucking crushed. I was like, okay, well, that's not a good sign, but we'll see. I think he can bounce back for sure. But man, the Mets are being made look like bitches in this series. Just bitches. And I'm just waiting. When are they going to step up? And the market today is giving, some sort of reads that maybe they will. We'll talk about the money line market here in a second. But like Rhys Hoskins, again, I wouldn't call it a dirty slide. I would be pissed, though, if I was McNeil. I thought this is a rare. Both sides can be right in this situation. Then he hits a home run. I'm like, fuck, you should have hit him. And then they try to hit him and they completely miss. And it's like, oh my God, this is just a mess. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen today? It's going to be very exciting either way. But I had no thoughts on this game. Like I said, only 60% of the bets on the Brewers here. No money percentage from action. And let's check out if the line has moved commiserate to that 60% of the bets. It was minus 125 opener, and honestly, it's gone up minus 130 now to the Mets, and Bovada's hanging minus 138. So, yeah, no action for me here, Dave. Anything for you?
No, I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. Shout out to Tim and Nick and their awful team. I can't believe a couple years ago we were all betting the Mets and team total overs, and we were going fine, and then it seemed like not only did they start playing bad, they had some bad luck. That trumpet boy, we know all that from a year ago. That's why I know we differ in this. Olympics, World Baseball Classic, I think if you are a premier player, you should sit those out, and that's but then again, as we see with your team, when they go far, it is fun. So I guess I'm torn there, but either way, I don't bet Brewers games. I don't even look at them. I know this is leaving things on the screwers. There are teams that are that way to me. The Wild, I did bet VGK yesterday. It was the first time in 2 years I bet a game involved with the Wild. Clemson football is going to be another one of those. And the Screwers. I really honestly never, if there's a World Series with the Brewers, I might not bet it. It's that bad. I stay away. It doesn't matter who they're playing. Doesn't matter what the edges are. I'm off it. So that's
it's interesting. They're a weird team this year because they're a very good developing at pitching. And they still have decent like relievers and such, and their starters, their first two at least were okay, but now we'll really see what happens here. I don't know what to make of them either. So you're right about that. Shout out to Primetime 99, Nasty Nate in the chat. Let's go to our next game. Shout out to Julian Cesario. I think he dropped a Marlins money line here. I think he said that. I'm trying to find it again here, but Marlins money line for Julian. Very interesting. So I started looking at these spring training stats, and today was the first time that I looked at the totals of how many innings these pitchers pitched, and I was like, okay, interesting. Let's see what is an average, amount of innings pitched. And I was like, okay, like 10, 15 innings is kind of where I'd want my pitcher to be. And our guy, Trevor Rogers here, only has 8 2/3 innings pitched in spring. I was like, okay, I guess. And I was like, honestly, how are you ready with only under 9 innings pitched? I was like, there's no way. So I was like, I think this might be a fate situation of all these guys that have under 10 innings pitched. So I started making notes of who has these amount of innings pitched to see how they do today. And maybe we can make a note of that for the next coming days or whatever. But only 8 2/3 innings pitched for Trevor Rogers here. I like him. He's a pretty good lefty. I wanted to fade him here, and I didn't want to back Bailey Falter. There was just no chance I wanted to do that either. So it was obviously like a team total spot for me here, but the market has not backed my thoughts. So I'm probably staying off here. It's opened up at minus 120 for the Marlins. It's jumped up to minus 140. And I was like, oh, man. And Action not giving us percentage of the money, but 61% of the bets on the Marlins here. So I stayed off. I was liking a Pirates team total here. I think they could score, but this market just seemed like it was a Marlins spot here. So I'm off. What do you think here, Dave?
Yeah, and Wine Time says, and this is going to be something a common thread with my bets about teams sweeping. And actually, I have a lot of the road teams sweeping. I don't know if this is one of them. I have been on the Pittsburgh Pirates 2 of the 3 games. Yesterday's line perplexed me a little bit, but I'll talk to you about these 2 pitchers. Bailey Falter last year was one. I don't know where, I forget where he placed, but there was a list that was updated every week of the top and bottom first 5 money line pitchers. Bailey Falter for half of the season or a third of the season at the end was one of the worst. If you would have bet the Phillies, I believe.
I can tell you, I have that list. I'll pull it up for you.
You know, that's actually an awesome list. It's one of my favorite finds that I've ever found. And actually, the list that last year only went through August 31st that I found last night, so I had to add it up myself. But either way, he's shit. And my brother from another mother, Trevor Rogers, is someone I actually like to fade. Now, he did have a little spurt last year before he got hurt, and 2 years before that where he pitched well, or a year before that. But he's been a fade guy for me. So, Falter's bad. Rogers is mediocre at best. I know Pittsburgh bullpen is better than the Marlins, but it's nothing to scare me off. The over in this game. Yeah. I like the over. These teams are bad. The Pirates are hitting the ball. The Marlins can contribute a few runs. And at 8, Bet Rivers, you can still get an 8. It's gone up a lot of books from 8.5. So I like the over in this game.
Yeah, and you should be, at least have confidence that it went up, because 80% of the bets and 64% of the money on the over in this situation. So this is not staying at that situation. So that's nice. Yeah, I'd lean over as well with you. And by the way, I'm looking at the one through August 31st, like you mentioned. 1-9-1, the old Bailey Falter last year. So yeah, not a guy I want to back this year, unfortunately. Did not make my pitchers list.
Let's say he had 4 starts in September, right? And he won all of them. It'd still be 5-9 and whatever. I mean, he's bad. He's bad.
So no thanks. No thanks there. Next, another series that I've basically stayed off of the entire time. Shout out to Mikey Money. He put me on a live bet of the Rays, which is not official for our betting purposes, but it was nice to have that money in my pocket. It was no sweat. So shout out to Mike, but I just can't bet this series. And my first thought is obviously, why the fuck is this so cheap for Kevin Gausman? And I know on the road, obviously, whatever, but it is a cheap price for Kevin Gausman. And we're going against Tyler Alexander, who, comes over from the Tigers. And we'll give the Rays the benefit of the doubt when it comes to pitching. Like, if you come over, you're obviously going to have, some sort of Rays magic dusted on you, and you're going to become a better pitcher some way or somehow. But I just can't get there. I can't get there with Tyler Alexander. I'd much rather be on the Toronto Blue Jays here. But again, my theory of innings pitched in spring is coming to a head here. I looked up Kevin Gausman's spring starts this year. I don't know if this is wrong. I've been using MLB.com for this. I only saw 1. 3 innings pitched. And I was like, what the fuck? Is that it? And I was like, what are we doing here? So I know Kevin Gausman's a veteran, and I think for the veteran guys, it's much, less worrisome about the latter amount of innings pitched. But 3? That's it? So I couldn't get there with him, and Tyler Alexander only threw 9. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm off this game. Whatever happens, happens. It's a low total as well at 8. Maybe you lean over, but we'll talk about the market here and we'll pass it on. No fucking total market here from Action. Don't even want to give us a percentage of bets, so that's lovely. Shout out to them. But money splits here, 75% of the bets and 90% of the money on the Toronto Blue Jays. And it does not seem like this line has moved an inch. So that definitely makes it an interesting, semi-appealing Ray spot. But you have to really just gulp and hope that you can swallow this pride here against Gausman. But 3 innings pitched? I definitely think the Rays are live here in a team total aspect, at least. What do you think here, Dave?
Yeah, it's a stay away from me, but just a couple things. Gosman's pretty damn good, but I think, to me, the Blue Jays are a team I need to get a couple weeks of stats under my belt. There are just some teams that's that way for me. Other teams I can come right out the gate. I did see Sean Armstrong last night as the primary. Tyler Alexander is now, so it's essentially a bullpen game. But you know what? People get scared of these bullpen games. I don't. Even though I'm not on this one, you think about it, you've got a fresh pitcher coming out every 2 to 3 innings. That I think people say, oh, there's a really good pitcher against a team's bullpen. Well, by the way, it's the Tampa Bay Rays, and buyer beware here. It's a tricky situation. I'd probably find a way to get in the Rays, but I'm off it, and it has more to do with the Blue Jays than the Rays of why I'm off it. But anyways,
yeah, I'm going to write down. I'm going to write down Rays team total. Let me just write this down so we can come back to it later, because that's a lot of money on the Rays or on the Blue Jays. It's not moved. And if we're only throwing three spring training innings, Kevin Gausman, then I'm going to say you're not ready yet, my man. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe, maybe MLB.com is wrong and he's throwing some secret innings that I don't know about, but that's very interesting. Let's go to our next game, and another game I was very interested in, and I wanted to move on it. Shout out to Dabby Cab. He'd be rolling over in his grave if he heard me say this, but I was extremely interested in the Washington Nationals here. First of all, let's talk about Jake Irvin. Jake Irvin, a young pitcher on the Nationals. Kind of got crushed last year. Now he's, full season in spring training. Know he's going to be in the rotation. I think that's all good for the mentals. But his last 3 spring starts, 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 4 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs there, 5 Ks, no walks in those last 2. Pretty good. We'll take that every day there. He's faced the Reds twice. He's been at the Great American Ballpark, which helps. I think young pitchers playing in a ballpark like, Great American or Coors for the first time, typically I don't want to back them. But he's been there. His last start there at this Great American, 4 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs on 2 home runs. So, not bad, but, not great still. But I really like the Nationals here, and I wanted the market to show me some indication of the Nationals being live here today. And let me double check here, because I've got it opening up at -180, and it has dropped down to -163 here. So I think I am going to move on the Nationals here. Moneyline market here, according to Action, if I can find it. 82% of the bets on the Reds, no money splits, and the market's moved down here. So yeah, I'll be moving on the Nationals in some form or fashion. I just have to decide if it's a first 5 money line there, and I'm going to trust Jake Irvin, or I'm going to take a team total, which is 4.5, which truthfully, I don't love taking that 4.5 with the Nationals, because 5 runs is kind of a lot. I know the total's at 10, and I know we're at Great American, and I don't think Nick Martinez is going to be very good. Only 8 innings in spring. So again, he's an old man. I get it, but I don't know. So I'll decide that here, Dave. What do you like about this game?
Well, I don't. I love the first 2 games. We smashed it. I had the Reds run line, and then I had the over yesterday. Read it like a book. The over, I think that the over is now starting at double digits. Before it went up to double digits. That worries me. It's probably accurate. And I don't know about the starting pitching. I mean, Nick Martinez has had a bummy career. Last year was okay, but he's a bum. And Jake Irvin looks like a bum, but he was a rookie last year, right? He only had one. I think he's only had 1 year under his belt. That's what my notes say. So that's must be it. Both bullpens, I would say, is slightly below average. So again, I'd look towards an over, but not a 10. They're just better places here. And it's hard to bet the Nationals, but I guess if there's any time to bet them, it's against Nick Martinez. He's hot garbage.
Yeah, I think the Nationals will be my first, kind of big dog I've taken, I guess. I've taken, like the plus like 105s ish with my Yankees now. Dave, I keep saying that because I seem to be the only person on this earth that thinks the Yankees are very good this year. Like I think they're going to win the division. I thought they were going to be great this year. And I've listened to a couple podcasts. They're like, oh, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be 82 and 82. I was like, what the fuck? Are we seeing the same thing here? Like, I hate to say it, but even Aaron Boone can't fuck this up. I mean, he's got I think his rotation all bounces back, blah, blah, blah. And I think the Astros are kind of looking rickety. And I was like, all right, well, this will be a good test. And I've bet the Yankees 2 of these 4 games, and I'm going to bet them today. So we'll see. But yeah, it's been
we'll get there. But I'm on the side of most people that you've heard. So
yeah, it's weird. I hate being the pro Yankees guy. I don't want to do that.
What is this? A Twilight Zone?
Exactly. It's disgusting. Like I don't want to be that guy, but fuck, I guess I've got to. All right, I'm on the Nationals here. Let's roll the dice with Jake Irvin. I mean, I see you, Christopher Comentini, telling me about his metrics, and I don't feel great about that. So, but I'm on it. First 5 money line plus 145. I also don't feel great that all the national scoring has come at the end of the game. That like yesterday they scored like all their runs in the 8th, 9th inning. So we'll see. We'll see. This is a big dog. They're plus 145 for a reason. So we're officially on it there. Man. Fucking betting the Nationals. Cab is going to send me a fucking pissed off text message today. There's no one that tells you, like, Cab wants me to succeed a lot, but he loves telling me how to bet. So that is Dabby Cab there. I love Cab to death, but he does indeed. So shout out to Cabby. Let's go to our next game. Detroit, Chicago White Sox. I saw someone, I think Boofy, I think it was Boofy's his name was asking about Colin Ray and Eric Fetty here. I had no Colin Ray thoughts. I didn't have any thoughts on him last year. I don't have any thoughts on him this year. I won't be betting his starts. No, thank you. Eric Fetty, at least is interesting because we all remember, 2 years ago, the Fade Fetty train. It was quite profitable. He was on the Nationals. He was dog shit. And he realized he was dog shit. So he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to the KBO. Goes to the KBO, and it was phenomenal. Just great. Now, again, obviously it's not the Major League Baseball. The hitters aren't the same. We all know that. But he got his confidence back.
They have cheerleading, I heard.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, so do the Mets now.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that's cool. We should have cheerleaders. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I would love to go to a KBO game, but my alliances with Korea are a little severed recently, so who knows? Okay. Who knows? But 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, 1 walk in his last appearance. 4 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run for Eric Fetty, all spring training. I think he's been pretty good. And I said yesterday that I think these White Sox are going to be pretty good for the first, month or so. Obviously, when the injuries come, that is when the White Sox will start falling because they don't have depth. But Soroka, he started off really poorly, but came around and we cashed the first 5 money line with him yesterday. That was awesome. It definitely sweat my dick off because immediately going down 3-0 was like, okay, great. I'm going to look like a fucking jackass talking about the White Sox being decent, but they came around. And I'll tell you, Dave, there's no bigger Jack Flaherty guy these last few years than me. I've supported him. I thought he was going to find it. I loved the Orioles trade because I was like, maybe he'll find it. Then the Orioles can make a run. Saw him in person. He was shit. And he just was bad. And now he's, went to the Tigers. He's had a healthy offseason. I've said that a lot recently because, if you have an injury-riddled offseason, you're not really, like, pitching. You're just rehabbing. And now he's actually got to pitch for the whole offseason. 4 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them earned. 5 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs. 4 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs. This is my last stand with Jack Flaherty. This is it. If you can't come out here in this first month and just be good, I'm done with you. I will be fading you. I cannot do it because I've supported him, and we just need something. Show something, Jack Flaherty. So I think both these guys could go out there and pitch well, but I haven't bet anything in this game, truthfully. So I'll mention the money line markets here, and I'll toss it to the spread or the total, and then we'll move on and talk about Dave's action here. But 43% of the bets on the Tigers. So, a little more action on the White Sox there. No money splits yet. Total here, very interestingly enough, again, no money splits because action is being very disappointing. 50-50 market split, though, ticket split on those over there. So I could see an under or first five, but I'm not anything. I'm on anything here. Dave, anything for you?
No, these are teams, and this is the thing with me in the AL Central for most of the time. I need a couple weeks. I can take, put on my capping hat and hit a lot of teams. The AL Central is one that I need to see some stats. And these two teams for sure. Both these pitchers are garbage. The bullpens are garbage. Which team's definitively better at the plate, and how can you tell yet? I have a UFL bet today there's more stuff to bet. This game is like the bottom of all the entire card might be the worst game. I'm talking about the entire card of all the sports. So go just do something else.
Yeah, no, agreed. Much better games on this. And I agree with you, Craig Wood. That's why I really do kind of want to fade Flaherty, but I'm going to give him a chance. I'm not going to back him or not going to fade him here, but I think Fetty could have a decent start here. So, all right, let's keep it popping and rolling here. Twins, Royals. By the way, there are a few games with some strong wins in play here. There was like 8-9 mile an hour winds in that last game, so it was okay. But we've got 12 up to 14 mile an hour winds blowing out to left center here. So keep that in mind here. Total's 9. Maybe you can get over it, but I haven't played this game here yet. Bailey Ober, I don't know how long I'm going to keep thinking about Bailey Ober and like imagining some kind of, like I really think he could be good. He's like fucking 6'8", extension for days. Think he can throw hard enough where he's a good pitcher, but he just never quite, does it. His spring numbers were just kind of up and down. He gave up 4 earned runs in 4 innings last time out in spring. I'm just not really there with him yet. And then Brady Singer. Here's the thing. The Royals just don't develop pitching well. They just have not had a really good homegrown pitcher in a long time. And Brady Singer had his moments of brilliance, but I just don't think I can trust him enough. So I definitely leaned over here, weather factors included. Let me talk about the market here. And I looked like they're looking at their previous starts against both these squads because obviously in division matchup here makes sense. Not good. 6 earned runs for Bailey Ober at Kansas City in his last time out. And Brady Singer went 5 and 2 earned runs last time at home. So that's not bad. And then went 2 2/3, 8 earned runs in the start before that. 79% of the bets and 89% of the money on the over in this game. As for the money line here, 59% of the bets, 70% of the money on the Twins. And it doesn't seem like this line has moved very much at all. It's been around -118, -120, a little bit up to -124, I guess. So it's creeping a little bit, but no action for me here. I lean over. What do you think?
So, and it has to do with this division, but there are those guys, Jose. We know them. You heard it here first, guys. The guys that go out on a limb and try to pick a dark horse, and they want to be Fairleigh Dickinson's going to. Nick Earl is one of those guys, and a lot of times, I think he's a great capper, but so much hype on the Royals for the Royals. Reagan's opening day, fuck that. I was on it. Brady Singer had an ass year last year. Bobby, the only cool thing about Bobby Witt Jr. is his father's brother, Mike Witt, who went to my high school in the 70s and then pitched for the Angels. That's the only cool thing. I don't care he had a good year. This is the Royals. The Royals cannot be trusted. It's the Royals. 40 years, I'm almost 40. Two times in my life have they ever been relevant. 2015, and then a year after I was born when I was still shitting my diapers. No. Ober is a good pitcher. Better pitching, better lineup, Papa John's. We're on the Twins. Fucking this Royals bullshit. Get out of here.
Well, you and Nasty Nate are on the same side there. Twins smash. Yeah, I've labeled the Royals as the Royals trap now because it seems like there's one person in the Pub Sports Radio universe that always falls for the Royals. I fell for them first. The year before, after that, it was Jeff, and I think last year it was Jimmy.
I remember he was all up on humping on him last year. I remember
everyone takes their win total over, and I just don't. They just get you. You know, on paper it looks great, but it just never turns out as good as you think. That's what has to end up happening. Their offense just is not good enough. I like Bobby Witt, but yeah, it's just not there yet.
He's all right. I just had to throw that little tidbit in there about his uncle.
No, I get it. I flex that too. Shit. But I have no action on this game. I lean over. You're right. Twins, I hope, smash here for you both, Nasty Nate and Dave. Let's talk about it. My New York Yankees. I hate saying it. It feels sick. I'm betting them here again. I'm on the money line here. I'm going to bet them right now. Yankees money line here again to sweep the Houston Astros in their own fucking barn to start the season. It's crazy. Yes, I know. I can't believe it. But let's talk about it. Clark Schmidt, one of Jimmy's guys last year, had a good year, broke out. I kind of expect him to have another step forward this year and have another good year. He's in a lot of competition in that rotation, so I'm sure he worked his bag off this offseason. Last start in spring, 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs against the Astros. Last year at home, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and a 4-3 win again. JP France does not inspire confidence. And again, I'll say it. These Astros, they're starting to creak. The ship, they've been a dynasty here for the last, 8 years. But the ship is starting to creak. First of all, signing a big money closer for me is always a red flag. I think you can find closers on the cheap, or and do that, but I just don't like that Josh Hader signing. They don't have the same general manager. This is Alex Bregman's last year on a deal. I think he's going to be gone next year too. I think this is the first sign, and the rotation is just not the same anymore. Verlander's not there yet, obviously, but I mean, we're throwing out JP France on day 3. I think the Astros might be SOL. I don't know, but I like the Yankees here. I'm moving on them. Why? And it's not just my newfound love of the Yankees, unfortunately, guys. The market backs me here as well. 50% of the bets on each side, money line wise. 81% of the money on the Astros. Oh, you'd think they opened up at minus 125. You think they'd go their way? No, it goes to minus 113 now on Bet Online. So this is just a screaming Yankee spot for me here. So I'm on it. I'm betting it right now. I believe I'm going to get a minus 102, like you see on screen. But yeah, it's disgusting. I'm the number one New York Yankees guy now, Dave. So I'm actually getting plus 101. So that's not the best not the best odds. I could have got it at much better odds last night, but I'm not going to worry about it because I feel better about the market at least showing its hand to me. So that's how I have to mentally adjust myself, because I could have got this at plus 112 yesterday, 10 cents better, but whatever. It's fine. Dave, what do you think?
So you're getting good for once. I'm not for once, but if you look at it, the Yankees are getting numbers you can bet. Usually, perennially, they're overrated, and you fade them, or at least I have for years and years and years. I'd pump the brakes on thinking. I think I would attribute a lot of their success against the Astros to my concerns with the Astros. I thought it was a lot of people left on base. I would, I don't.
So many.
But here's the deal. I actually looked at they're even for the series. They both left men on base. So, the eye test. The reason why is I was on the Astros team total 2 games ago, so I was watching it. But either way, it's not that. What it is pop from the bat. I mean, this lineup is still completely loaded, in my opinion. And I know it's early, but in 3 games, their isolated power is 0.069. They're just not getting extra base hits. They're not doing what the Astros usually do. And JP France, to me, on paper, should he be the better pitcher? Maybe, but in this game, you can't trust. I say pump the brakes on both of these teams. I don't like to talk a lot about plays or games I don't have plays in, which I don't. But I wanted to throw that information out there to say, hey, Houston backers, I'm with you, Jose. This might be sort of the downward trend, and the Yankees backers. I think a lot of the success in the series has to do with how poorly the Astros have done. So,
God, for my mental health's sake. I hope you're right, because if the Yankees are as good as I think they might be, Dave, I truly think the Yankees make the World Series this year, and I will projectile vomit if I have to live in a world where the Yankees make the World Series. I was not really a coherent human being when the Yankees won the World Series, so that doesn't that World Series is not even relevant in my head. But I am telling people, I do think that we are going to get a rematch of that World Series that I just mentioned. I think it's going to be Phillies Yankees this year, and it's going to really.
Well, I mean, you forgot about there was a few years in between there, but the Yankees in my high school years for 4 or 5 years were the best team in baseball. So you missed Jeter, the early Jeter years. Yeah.
No, yeah. Again, I'm 97, bro, but birthday or your birth year. So yeah, I wasn't again an alive human being basically. But thank God I wasn't. Jesus. But yeah, no, I'm very scared of these things that I'm thinking. Very scared. Shout out to Don Mago, new member of the Pub Club here. Shout out to you, my man. Shout out to you. I can't see what membership you got, but just remember. Every Wednesday and Friday, we do Pub Sports Radio Gold member races. It's a great time. We run the ponies, $50 to the winner. Gold members only in there, so it's a great time. So shout out to everyone there. So it's a great time. Great time.
So you've got Crystal Craig, Cheshire Cat, some dog. You got
that's BT.
Okay. You got Justin McKelvey, and please tell me the one on the left is a 75-year-old Nasty Nate.
That is a current Nasty Nate looking raggedy. Yes,
I recognize everyone on that that's hilarious.
That's very funny. Yes, so there we go. Shout out to everyone on that graphic. It's, we don't get to look at that graphic enough in its fine details. And by the way, Tori Coker asked me a question earlier. I started for you, my man, about the ticket counts for the NCAA game. I will answer that at the end of that. Just please remind me. And I have another question here. Mark's review. I am not betting the Orioles every day. I should be. I'm getting FOMO because Tim Earl of Earl Sports Bets fame, both of them. But Tim is betting them every day, and he's keeping track of his record on Twitter. And he's obviously undefeated so far. So I should be. I'm not, but it's obviously working out for him. And Nori, I'm just going to call you Nori here. I agree with your Maldonado take there. I mean, he's arguably the best catcher when it comes to working a staff. It's a new catcher. He's young. It's effective, or it's definitely affecting them, especially the bullpen, because the starters have been there, done that. Most of them have done their thing, but the bullpen is where it's starting to hurt. So yeah, agreed there. And by the way, JP France, again, maybe MLB.com fucking up, not giving me all their spring training starts. 5 2/3 innings pitched in spring. That's it. So Yankees smash here, unfortunately. Jesus. Cubs, Rangers here. First of all, Jordan Wicks. If I might be Dabby Cab. I'm putting my Dabby Cab hat here on. If I'm getting a guy like Jordan Wicks against this Rangers bullpen or Rangers offense, excuse me, I just feel like it should be a Rangers team total bet every time. We'll see how that theorem works here. I'm not betting it here today, but I would not hate at all this any sort of bet against Jordan Wicks here. Now, he's had an okay spring. Last 2 starts, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs there. This is his first start against the Rangers, though, a lefty, and we know what the Rangers can do against lefties. I'll bring up their numbers from last year real quick. 5th best, 115 weighted runs created plus. So, yeah, I think the Rangers could get out there and get some runs off them easily. But here's the thing. I also think that John Gray, not very reliable. Again, only 8 innings pitched in spring, so I don't feel great about that. And just not a guy I trust, but at least he pitched well. 5 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs. So I lean over in this game and a Rangers team total, but no action here from me so far. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, not a game that I love. I expect some regression from the Rangers. I mean, I attribute by the way, I think both teams that were in the World Series might not make the playoffs this year, but
yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I have to say that Bruce Bochy might be one of the best baseball managers ever. He goes to places and he coached for the Padres, which were shitty. He brought him to a World Series in the 90s. He went to the San Francisco Giants, which were abysmal, won multiple World Series. Comes to the Rangers, wins that's who it is. There's some good parts to this team. Not good enough to be on the run that they had last year. Again, the Diamondbacks were the same way. That's my 2 cents about them in this game. The Cubs are always suspect. I don't have a play on it, but to me, I'm going to look to fade the Rangers until I see something that tells me I'm wrong.
No, everyone knows my dalliance with the Rangers last year and how it went. So I'm very trepidatious to say the Rangers aren't going to make the playoffs again. But I agree with you. It's always one of the 2 teams that make the World Series and win the World Series. Obviously, one of those 2 teams always has a really shit next year. So it's just one of those trends that happen in baseball every year. By the way, Kelly dropping it. Did you check the picks that were put in the chat yesterday? Yeah, Kelly, I saw you go 4-1, Kelly. I see you.
What's up, Kelly?
I saw it. Dabby Cab texted me bright and early here. I'll tell you what time, Kelly, at 8:39 in the morning, saying Kelly went 4-1 in the comments after the show. Got to make sure to shout him out. So we see you, Kelly. We see you. So shout out to you, my man. All right, next game here. Let's move on to the Oakland A's versus the Cleveland Guardians. This series has gotten me in the fucking bottom mouth. I'm 0-2 in this series, betting first 5 unders. And admittedly, I want to bet the A's here. I really do. Again, my guy, Paul Blackburn, we remember him a few years ago being the king of the first 5 innings. Shout to Austin Gomber last year as well. I didn't see how or who won the first 5. I believe that he won the first 5 innings because the Rockies came out and showed out yesterday. And he was the king of first 5 innings last year. But Paul Blackburn, last year he just wasn't healthy. And again, now he's coming into a season fully healthy, ready to go, healthy off season. 5 2/3, 2 hits, no earned runs, 6 innings, no hits. Last time out in the last 2 spring training starts. I think he can go out here and shove. But what the hell are we going to get from Carlos Carrasco? Who it's a balance between he's a good story in baseball that hopefully brings the clubhouse together and all that good stuff. A Guardians legend coming back, but I just don't know what to do here. So I definitely leaned A's here, and I just didn't have the sack to take them, unfortunately. Market-wise, before I pass it off to you here, Dave, no one should be surprised. 90% of the bets and 84% of the money on the Guardians here. And if you're one of those 90% of the bets, at least you can feel good that the line has moved your way. This opened up at -107 for Cleveland and has jumped up to -116, -117. So even -120 at Bovada. So yeah, it's a stay off for me. I understand all that money, but I'd rather be on the A's. I'm just not going to have the heart to do it. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland usually is a team that picks it up at the end of the season and sneaks in the playoffs. Here's the deal with this Oakland team, and people again trying to be that I told you first type of thing. You heard it here first. Oakland plays in a porta potty. Yeah. There's this whole sentiment or narrative that these guys want to play well because they want to be part of the Vegas dream. That's nonsense. Stop it. Right now, you're there for a year. If you're bad now, you're going to perform bad now. We've been getting playable lines now. Cookie Carrasco. Backing him is always problematic, but I think the Guardians have a bullpen and they have a lineup that's got enough pop to beat the A's. Paul Blackburn 2 years ago was a guy on that first 5 list. But look at his career. I mean, he's like a mid-4 ERA guy, 1.5 WHIP, which is below average. He's mediocre, below average pitcher, even though for whatever reason people consider him okay. Great line. I think the line has to be there for a couple reasons. One is the sweeping a team at home. 2 is Blackburn versus Cookie. It's a great number to get on the Guardians. And how could you? To me, I don't know how you could be in anything but the Guardians unless you want to be you heard it here first guy. But plus 106, you're not even getting that much value on the A's, which is a shitty team. So I've already bet it. I got it minus 112, Cleveland.
Oh, nice. All right, beautiful. Well, Dave's on the Guardians there, and I'm glad I'm not on it. By the way, Bo Jackson dropping good stats there, 12-8
like it
against the AL West on the road in his career, so not bad there. And Julian Cesario also on the Guardians as well, giving me the better lineup. So, yeah, I'm glad I'm off. No action here for me. Let's go to our next game here. And a guy that's on my pitcher list, Brandon Pfaadt. A guy who could have been faded all last regular season, a young pitcher just kind of trying to figure his shit out. And then when the lights turned bright and the Diamondbacks needed him the most, he became probably their second best pitcher in their staff. You know, is Gallen and him and Merle Kelly were doing the damn thing. Now, Brandon Pfaadt, there's a lot of competition in this rotation. He's got to battle his ass off for this last spot because obviously you've got Gallen, you've got Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez is there. He's hurt, but he's going to come back. Montgomery's there. He's going to be there in a few weeks. And he should be that 5th spot. But having that 5th rotation spot is obviously perilous. So I think he's going to have a good season. I think he's going to keep building off of that postseason performance. He had a good spring. Well, he had a good last spring training start, I should say. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, no walks. The one before that, 2 2/3, 4 hits, 4 earned runs. So I think he's going to be a good starter this year. I'll be backing Pfaadt this year. But I'm not going to back him here at a minus 200 price. I mean, there's just no chance. And the Rockies won yesterday. Congratulations to them, but it's just no chance I'm playing this game. So I'm off market-wise here. Only thing you can know about the total, 80% of the bets on the over in this game. Unsurprising. I believe the roof is closed as well. I believe Jimmy mentioned that on Friday that the roof would be closed here. They have a schedule of that stuff, so someone can look that up. And unsurprisingly, 96% of the bets, no money splits, but 96% of the bets on the Diamondbacks here. So no action for me here, Dave. What do you think?
Very interesting game to me. A lot of people would look at this and go away. And it has to do with Brandon Pfaadt. Pfaadt is his name. I don't care. Look. We've all had, we're pretty regular guys and you're young in your life, but when you get to my age, you'll figure it out. You'll be like, that was a good year. Like for me, 2011 was a good year. Was a really
what happened
good
in 2011?
Oh, we just I was in shape. I fucking could hit all my bets, playing poker, slaying pussy. Yeah. And by the way, this is later in my 20s when I had a job and some money in my pocket, so it wasn't like I didn't. Yeah. Anyway, 2011 was a good year. Then there are other. Here's the deal: Brandon Pfaadt's 2011 was the playoffs last year. Okay. I went back and did the numbers on that August 31st list. He was one of the worst 5. He was the 4th worst. Okay, 2. If you bet on him, if you bet on the Diamondbacks, the first 5 money line every time he pitched last year, it'd be 2, 12, and 4. You would have lost 10 units. 4th worst in baseball. And Feltner's awful, but here's the deal: on the first 5, we get plus 164. We can take a shot with 1.5 times our money against Pfaadt. I'm on it. I'm on the Rockies first 5. Do they win the game? I don't know, but it's enough value for me to go for 164.
Yeah, and Feltner had a good spring. So 4 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 6 Ks, 1 walk. That's great. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, 1 walk. You'll take that. So I don't hate it. I think Pfaadt's going to be a good pitcher this year, and we'll see how he does. And I can't wait to now track and see how he does and think about you calling him Pfaadt.
Yep.
So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun.
Think
But
about
no action for me here. And by the way, Luigi asked about a free bet. He has a free bet. My obviously choice earlier. I was thinking this earlier would be the Yankees, but do whatever you want with it. I would probably
in
parlay
baseball
it.
or anything.
I don't know. I think he said anything, but
if you can get a 3 on Purdue, get the 3. If not, bet the Houston Roughnecks in the UFL.
Or parlay all these things up together.
Yeah,
I was told, obviously I live in Texas and I don't get FanDuel and all that stuff, and I have to bet through a local and all whatever. But I went to Tennessee for the bachelor party, and I got a free bet, and I was like, oh, sick. And I just put it like on a -110. And all my friends fucking like screamed at me. I was like, what are you doing? You have to put it on like a plus 6,500 so you can get your money value. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay. All right. Sorry, guy. So apparently you're supposed to just put that on a big plus money dog. So maybe
those are guys that reload their bankroll after every bet they make. No.
That's 100% true. Yeah. That's 100% true. But yeah, I was like, okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I didn't know. I don't get free bets often here. But let's go to our next game. And Dave, I made a promise to myself and everyone that's watching the show. I will not be betting the Boston Red Sox at any point in this season. The market can scream their way, and I will not do it. I will not bet them. I will not be betting against them either. Maybe some totals, who knows? But I will not be betting on the Boston Red Sox this year, and we'll see how my record does with that as well. But yesterday was a heartbreaker. We're starting to realize that now Kenley Jansen is in fact an old man. We can confirm that. And he has to sleep in certain, ways so his back doesn't lock up and he can be available to pitch. That's what happened yesterday. He woke up with a stiff back. He wasn't available to pitch in the extra innings, and we had to throw Jolis Rodriguez out there, and he fucking sucks dick and balls. So that's great. I'm not bitter about it at all. But let's talk about Garrett Whitlock, who, I think it's funny because I've looked at some of these relievers that have become starters, like Garrett Crochet, and I'm like, wow, I bet you the White Sox told him early, you're our starter. And I was like, I wonder what that's like, because the Boston Red Sox love to be like, hey, Garrett Whitlock, you're a reliever now. And they're like, hey, you're actually a starter. You're a reliever again. You're a starter again. They just go back and forth like Michael Scott vasectomies. Snip, snap, snip, snap. That's all they fucking do. And it's really annoying. And I think that Garrett Whitlock has had in the back of his mind, I think he's known that he's going to be a starter because the Red Sox are poor and didn't fucking get anyone to be in the rotation. So I think he's known he's going to be a starter. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run not earned in his last spring training start. Bryce Miller also, we all know, is very good. He can throw the fuck out of the ball, and if his fastball's not fastballing, then he's not going to be as good of a pitcher. But 4 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, and 2 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs on 2 home runs. I'm assuming they were on fastballs. All for Bryce Miller. Let's go to the market here real quick. 38% of the bets on the Red Sox, no money line or no money splits yet. And for the total here, 40% of the bets on the under and 75% of the money on the under as well. And I think this, let me look at my odds sheet to see about this total, because it seems like this went from 8 to 7.5 here. And that would semi-interest me in a first 5 under here. This obviously has been a very low-scoring series as a whole as well. No, you can actually get 8 still, very interestingly enough. Yeah, it opened up at over at 8 or -102. It dropped down to 7 at 5 o'clock yesterday, actually, and then popped back up this morning, back up to 8. So yeah, I've got no action in this game. I lean under. First 5 under would probably be another lean, but yeah, no action for me here.
Yeah, me neither. I want to back Bryce Miller. I don't like the price for Bryce Miller here. It's just not. I don't know. I bet the under 2 days ago. I think betting these teams is problematic, especially when they play each other. Not a series I'm excited to even dive into. So to me, just stay off it. There's other stuff to bet. Go bet UFL.
Yeah, no, I go bet UFL. I wish I could be betting the Red Sox, but I'm not to be trusted. So no, thank you. But Dave, you know what's funny? Everyone, I had someone yesterday, I forgot who it was texting me about the basketball games, and I was like, "Do you think I'm fucking watching the basketball games? I don't give a fuck about these basketball games. I'm obviously watching baseball." Now, I had a bet. I was feeling good about myself yesterday. We had a good day yesterday, and I tailed some UFC. Shout out to you and Mike. We're on that Saturday night stream. I tailed some UFC, cashed on both of them, so that was nice. So we're feeling good about ourselves. I put in a parlay. It was fucking Alabama money line, and I had to like generally pay attention to that game. And I was just going back and forth, and I was like, "This is fucking stupid. Why am I sweating out this dumbass basketball game?" And of course, they won. And obviously, the other leg of that parlay was Dodgers run line, and we know how that goes. But yeah, it was classic. The worst part about that, Dave, was those motherfuckers. They gave me hope. They gave me hope. I was okay, full bases loaded. Ohtani just hit a grand slam. Let's cash everything. We'll go to bed happy.
Pops it up.
That was disappointing to say the least. But yeah, no, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Even parlays are still just one thing I just will never conquer, and you should never bet them. I never do. So let's go to this next game. This is actually a really easy pass game for me because Dalton Jeffries was not listed yesterday, so I don't have much on him. I don't want anything to do with Dalton Jeffries. I know that the Giants are very good at reviving pitchers, but a pitcher from the Oakland A's is kind of not someone I want to back here. Michael King has been okay too. He pitched pretty shit in Korea against the Dodgers, but it's the Dodgers, so I'll trust him here to have a decent start. I stayed off this game, and this series has been very interesting as a whole, but no action for me here, Dave. What do you think?
Same. Just all I have to say about this game or the teams in this game is beware of this. Padres are another team people are humping up on, thinking they might be able to do this or that. They're still the Padres. And by the way, their bullpen stinks. So anyway, this isn't. Yeah. This matchup in the NL West is consistently one of the toughest to bet for me.
I agree.
You can find angles here and there, but it's you know what this is? This is Who Gives a Shit channel right now for me.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I made some money on Yu Darvish. I've adopted Yu Darvish's or Cab's love of Yu Darvish, so that was nice. But I've watched the series. It's been entertaining. Like I enjoyed watching Jordan Hicks do his thing yesterday. I'm like, maybe it could be bet on. Who knows? But I no action on this game, and action is not even giving fucking any information on this game. Nothing. Not even action or like ticket splits. Nothing. So
they don't even care about it. Let's go. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's go and let's move on to our last game of the board. Your Los Angeles Dodgers and the St. Louis Cardinals here. The Cardinals win yesterday. And again, I was extremely, extremely perturbed by that. I mean, what is there to say? Gavin Stone, I think, will have a fine year, but Steven Matz is not someone to be trusted. I think the Dodgers, specifically their first innings, are must-watch TVs. Like you just have to go and watch. It's just Mookie, Ohtani, Freeman all in your face immediately. Now, I texted my friends in my gambling group chat. I was like, you might as well just bet Dodgers Yerfies fucking every day and just let it roll because you're just getting the three best hitters in baseball in some form or fashion here. And that was when they loaded the bases. Of course, Lance Lynn promptly struck out, I think, 3 in a row and, did closed out the Nerfy for everyone. But honestly, if I'm betting anything, I probably bet a yes run in the first inning. And even then, I think there are certain books that let you bet specifically like Dodgers run first inning. Cardinals run first inning. I just bet a Dodgers run first inning and watch Mookie, Ohtani, and Freeman do his thing. And by the way, Mookie bets 4 straight games with a home run. So maybe if you like dinger props, take him again. But at Mookie bets, pretty good, pretty fucking good. Who would want to trade that guy? Dave, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, who let him go? I said this before, and by the way, we're actually not getting that bad of numbers for. I thought it'd be worse for the Dodgers, but everyone was like, "Oh, they're gonna." Well, some people said, they're gonna be the best team. Blah blah blah. Other sharps were saying, "Oh, they're gonna be, fade them." Or how do we bet them? Well, I said in the beginning, team totals. They're gonna start at 4.5. They're gonna go to 5.5. They might get to 6.5. Bet it. I don't care. It had 5 games in a row last night. Never in doubt. Bottom of the 9th, but we did it. And
so, Dave actually tweeted something out about this today. Like I looked up today, like best team total teams, and you're 100% right. The Dodgers 5-0 again on over team totals, up 5.15 units. There's a couple teams that are undefeated this year, but yeah, it seems like just every day it should just be Dodgers team total and just go to sleep.
Yeah. Do you want to know why it's 5? It's over 5 units, only 5 games. One of them was 5.5, and it was plus money. They're not getting it. They can't get it. This is, if anything can be said, there's questions about Yamamoto. There's questions about Ohtani. You know what? There's no questions about. This lineup is just fucking good, and it's going to take an elite pitcher and an elite bullpen to keep them down. Are they going to be bettable? You're going to have to bet their run lines. You're going to have to get creative. Well, you know what? Just bet their team total. It's 5-0 for me today. It is rainy in Southern California. If you didn't know, Southern California rain is not like rain other places. It's not that big of a deal. Dodger Stadium isn't a ravine. It's a pitcher's park. The ball might be a little heavy if it is wet out there, but 4.5. It's juice -130. Still taking it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. I'd agree there. And by the way, for people wondering who are the undefeated teams in baseball this year to team total overs, Dodgers 5-0, Guardians 3-0, Yankees 3-0, Pirates 3-0, Giants 3-0. Braves 2-0, Orioles 2-0, Reds 2-0, Rangers 2-0. So all those teams are cashing. And by the way, there are 3 teams that have not cashing over yet. All unders for team totals here. The Houston Astros 0-3 team total wise so far. Cubs 0-2, and the Kansas City Royals 0-2. So keep that in mind there. No action for me here. Dave, are you on the Dodgers team total officially there?
Yep, 4.5. I got a -132. I don't know. I laid the juice. I laid a lot of juice today. You know what's funny is you try to find early season. I think it's a high time to get a lot of dogs. We have 4 series that are potential road sweeps, or 3 series that are road sweeps. It's been fave city. So I got the Pirates as a dog the past few games, but this proves you need to be flexible. You need to adjust real quick, and I think most of these road favorites today are gonna sweep. I bet it that way.
It's gonna be fun. To say the least. I'll tell you, there's definitely hierarchies in baseball right now. You can tell who's better than who early on right now. All right, so let's review our action here. Dave, I'm going to ask you to go first because I'm trying to figure out what all I'm on and going to be on right now. So you go ahead, take the floor.
Well, good thing I wrote it down. Can you imagine a capper that doesn't write shit? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm on the over in the Orioles Angels game. I got it at 8.5. There's some 9s out there. I'll take it at either one. The Orioles might hit it themselves. Atlanta Braves really jumped up to over -140. I had a -126. I'll still take it now. Pittsburgh Miami over 8 or 8.5. Don't care. Minnesota money line, Cleveland money line, Colorado first 5 for some plus monies, and of course, the Dodgers team total over 4.5. Lay the juice until the wheels come off. All 4 wheels. I'll take it until I lose 3 times in a row. But that's it. And then Houston Roughnecks money line.
Yeah, I feel the same way you do about the Dodgers, team total. I think the same thing goes for the Orioles here. And again, I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna start taking it right now. But I think it's just you should bet the Orioles. You should bet the Dodgers team total every day until you lose 3 in a row. And then after the 3 in a row, you can be like, okay, maybe I'll lay off. But I think those are must bets every day. If you don't know what to bet, yeah, I just think so. So yeah, and again, I say this, I'm not betting it. Maybe I'm a jackass, but we'll see. We'll see how the season progresses, and maybe we should do that. So, all right, let's review all action here from my end. I have officially 4 bets. I just bet them all. We're in, and I've had a very good week with my local, thankfully. Again, shout out to my fucking guy, Martin Drexler, and his fucking horses. That got the week started really nice there. But I'll review action here. Braves, Philadelphia Phillies, first 5 under 4, even money there. Washington Nationals, first 5, plus 145. My underdog of the day, I guess, even though I have the Yankees as well. My New York Yankees, money line, plus 101. And I just bet the Tampa Bay Rays, team total over 3.5 at minus 120. Kevin Gausman, throw more innings in spring training, and then you'll be ready, I think. I hope. We'll see. But we'll see. I can't wait. It's going to be fun game, to say the least. Now, I just remembered that Tori asked me ticket counts for the NCAA game. I'll give you that right now. And you said, Dave, that you're betting Purdue, or you like Purdue under 3.5, I believe you said.
I got 3. There's still a 3 out there. I mean, you could take 3.5. I like Purdue in this game.
Yeah, I actually have Purdue winning it all. I've said they were going to win it all for a long time now. I've been on that train. I say this, Dave, mainly because I said this about UVA, and I picked them in all my brackets, and I won like that. So I'm just conjuring that magic again, really.
Oh, because of the team that got beat. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, that's. I have not watched 3 minutes of Purdue basketball this year. I just know. Well, I know what I'm missing out on. Zach Edey just throwing his hooks up, and respect.
Yeah, I did a free pick video on it last night. But if you want to know, just to kind of break it down a little more, Edey's great, and you can talk about him. But if it isn't Edey, you back up past the 3 line. They have 3 guards that are shooting over 44% from 3. They're just a beast of a team.
Yeah, I don't know how the bracket shakes up, but I hope we get Purdue UConn in the final. That's
me too.
Really, all we all care about. So. All right, but yeah, let's talk about it real quick. So I mentioned the Purdue game. We have 72% of the bets, but only 36% of the money on Purdue there. So very interesting. So it seems like sharper, bigger bets on Tennessee. I just have a feeling that SEC money just came in and just threw it on Purdue, or threw it on Tennessee, but we'll see. At least, Bet Online, if you are a Tennessee backer, Bet Online move this to a 3 this morning instead of a 3.5 there. So if you feel better about that, I mean, it's going to be a great game. Both of these programs are known for choking. So at least there's that. And now let's mention our friends at the ACC, my friends at the ACC. NC State versus Duke. I do not like when conference teams play each other, but at least it's interesting. 26% of the bets and 75% of the money on Duke there, -7. So, and then this opened up at a 6, and obviously it's got steamed up, was 6.5, and then moved up to 7. It seems like this morning. So there's that for you guys as well. Tori Coker, appreciate you watching the show, and you're a member. So anything for you, my guy. Yeah, I guess if I had to bet this game, it'd be to Purdue money line. And then I'd bet Duke plus there's -7, whatever the fuck it is. So, but I'm not going to watch any of these games. So fuck that. Dave, I appreciate you, my man. Thank you for joining me on Easter. So do you have any exciting plans today?
I have plans. Are they exciting? I have to go over and deal with family and a bunch of screaming kids.
Sounds great.
And a bunch of food I can't eat because I'm on a diet now. Oh, by the way, I've been dry for over a month. So yeah, I do have plans, but it is the most sacred day in the Christian religion, so can't say anything about it negatively. Either way, guys, have a good day today. I really liked a lot of baseball action. Someone says it's a tough card. I think it's a great card. And I'm looking. My plan is to win money. There's my fucking plan. So there you go.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I'm fucking trying to get some money here today too. My plan today is to sit on my ass on my couch and watch these games. Shout out to your grandma, Bo Jackson. Happy birthday to your grandma. 94 years old. That's nice to see. But yeah, I shout out to you, Dave. Thanks for joining me on Easters. I appreciate you guys in the chat as well. Daryl Turner asking me about Zach Edey, the Spurs. That'd be a horrible decision. Zach Edey is going to be a horrible, horrible NBA player. And by the way, Dave, this is just my random thought since that guy mentioned that. Mm-hmm. I generally believe like I could be, like a low level NFL scout, blah, blah, blah. I could do it for quarterback specifically. If JJ McCarthy is drafted in like the top 15 picks, I will just be dumbfounded. I cannot see it. If he's a good quarterback in the NFL, I'll say hands up. I'm not an NFL scout. I'm not qualified to be an NFL scout if JJ McCarthy is a good NFL quarterback. So that's my random thought to you, Dave, that I'll leave you with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll do a quick response. I think you're a dopey GM if you're spending a first round pick on a quarterback nowadays, or at least a first top half of the first round. You can pick someone up. Really, there's so many teams with O-line issues and edge rusher issues. That's what they should be doing. Caleb Williams, my boy, the Trojans. He's a good talent, but he's already in his own head. He's not going to be a good NFL quarterback.
So you don't like his pink phone?
I don't like his black nails. I'm old school. First of all, mention
the
men shouldn't be painting their nails, but you know what? You have to accept. I have to accept stupid shit all the time, and that's something I accepted. He's very, very talented, but he's harebrained, and I don't think all of those teams top first 10 picks should be edge rushers and O-linemen every year.
I hope that every quarterback gets drafted so the Jets can draft the tackle from Notre Dame. That's all I want.
Yeah.
That's all I want. All right. Thanks, guys. This was a random digression at the end of the program, but we appreciate you guys. As always, thanks, Craig, Chris, Robert Martin, and Kelly McGinnis. We'll talk about your birthday tomorrow, my man. Happy early birthday, my dude. So shout out to you. Dave, thanks so much. Say hey, guys. We'll see you guys next time.